What's your Rainbow Six Siege hot take? In theory, aim and mechanics mean nothing in this game. If a person has enough info and knows what to do with the info, you can win almost every game you play. No and yeah. Sure, in theory. Like he says, in theory, you can win just about anything just by positioning, information, all of that. But you still got to be able to hit your shots. You ever see like a bronze, silver, or like just someone that's just not mechanically good?
Yeah, I have an aerodynamic connector, so you should be good.
They can't really hit their shots, so they can't really do anything with the information. For example, when I switched over from console to PC, I never touched an MNK in my life. So I wasn't able to get Diamond and Champ. I was stuck in Plat 1 with a 0.9 KD because I wasn't able to act off that information and have the proper confidence to win gunfights and to position myself to win certain scenarios where if I had better mechanics, I would be able to win. So this just kind of isn't true. In theory, sure, in theory, mechanics mean nothing, but this is an FPS game. This guy's a few hot takes. The community isn't as toxic as people say. Devs are slaves to win deltas and pick rates. The M762 nerf is excessive. Players love throating the takes of their favorite content creators. 5, there isn't a single broken op slash op in the R6 currently. The R6 community isn't as toxic as people say. It is. It literally is. It's probably one of the weirdest communities I've experienced, and I grew up playing Call of Duty. Like, I've seen that level of toxicity, but like Siege's toxicity is weird. Like, we actually have a very weird player base, and all walks of life. This game just makes people mentally ill, apparently. We do have a loving community, but we also do have the weirdest toxic community, in my opinion. And this is literally somebody who's been in the 2K community, who's been in the, you know, the COD community, who's played Rocket League, who's like, trust me, weirdest toxic community, in my opinion, from what I've experienced. 2, the devs are slaves to win deltas and pick rates. That is true, because like no matter what they do with the win deltas and pick rates and however they nerf or buff an operator, someone's always gonna disagree with what they're doing. So yeah, that's true, in my opinion. I don't think it's like it is excessive, and to be honest, I don't think that was the right thing to do in terms of nerfing. Them nerfing operators based on their recoil is kind of odd, in my opinion, because this game is a utility-based game. And you know, she also has a secondary primary, which is a 150 round LMG, which is probably the most annoying, easy to use weapon in the game. And it just kind of made Zofia easier to use, in my opinion, because you're literally shooting 150 rounds without, you know, any recoil. So I feel like yeah, 100% excessive. Players love throating the takes of their favorite content creators. Personally, I haven't seen that. I feel like people should have their own opinion, and if they agree with someone, that's fine, but they shouldn't agree with them just because they like the content creator. You know, Bikini Body, for example, I see his takes. I don't agree with them all the time, but I don't belittle him. It's his opinion. Like, people, you have to realize everybody has opinions, and it's okay that you disagree with somebody else. You can still intertwine and be in the same boat and still like the person, even if they have a bad take. There isn't a single broken op or op in R6 currently. In terms of broken, I try to think of like year 1 Blackbeard, Blitz when he was like, I think a 2-2, and like he was able to ADS really quick, Lion. So yeah, the game's actually pretty balanced in terms of operators. So I feel like that's the only thing that when it comes to devs balancing operators, they kind of have to go off the charts, like, you know, the win delta. So but the thing I like about this game, and I loved it since year 1, is one minor change to an operator can be a major benefit factor to like the feeling of Siege. Why aren't Tachanka and Smoke the meta right now in defense? This is actually a really good one, because Tachanka and Smoke, them paired together, they're almost alike, if that makes sense. Because like Tachanka, he has a shield, Smoke has a shield, their rotation capability is amazing, and their burning time capability is amazing. Like, you have an operator like Tachanka, which is probably one of the most underrated defenders in the game right now. He does so much to burn time, and he's so fun. You know, in Oregon, for example, you know how people play elbow extension? For example, a lot of players play Smoke there, and it's good because like it wastes time, it allows you to like burn a lot of utility, etc. Try using Tachanka next time. He if you know how to properly use his LMG, you can make all the rotates, lines of sight, everything, and still have a lot of ammo. His fire, I don't know what it's called, the little like rocket launcher, it's very effective and it's so fun to use, man. Siege should make Siege, they should make a Siege 2 and stop dragging this game out for money, use a different engine and everything. This was a really bad take in my opinion, because a lot of people think that if we just make a new game or in Siege 2, then all of our problems is going to go away, like cheaters, you know, the sound bugs, just any of the bugs. But you realize making a new engine, there's going to be new issues. So nothing in life is perfect, especially when it comes to video games, because coding is so difficult and dealing with cheaters is insanely hard. So cool. What would that do realistically if we got a new engine? We'd get a Valorant type anti-cheat, which would push some of the player base away because they don't want to allow an anti-cheat to access that much of their PC. I feel like the devs and just Ubisoft in general, they're trying their best to try to see what they can do. I don't know anything about anti-cheats and whatnot, but I just couldn't imagine them making a Siege 2 and then making new operators, and it would just be so weird, and it would be such a waste of time, especially if it flops. There should be 3 bans for each side: defensive, attacking, especially as we're in year 6, and 50+ ops to choose from. I disagree heavily because I feel like the time spent, the downtime spent is insanely long in this game. And I remember back when I used to just play rank year 1, year 2, year 3 before map bans and operator bans was out. You would get into games very quick. You would play them. It would be like 20-30 minutes if it goes to OT. Now I can be set, queuing up, banning, all of that, and it takes 9 rounds, and then I'm there for 45 minutes to 50 minutes. So no, the downtime factor, I don't. I want to be able to play more games, not less, because I have to sit there through this banning phase. For me, what I want them to do though is I want them to allow you to protect one operator, just one overall operator from defensive or attacking, not 1-in-1, just one in general. So it would spice up the way that rank is played, because Thatcher's banned like 90% of the time, and Thatcher's a very viable operator. So I understand why he's like one of the most picked attackers, but it's just, I feel like the gameplay, and if you're actually able to play Thatcher now, it would just change the way the meta is played in ranked. This game fucking sucks and everyone should stop playing it. No, I don't agree. Even with the most annoying issues that Siege has had, with cheaters, everything, this game at its core is addictive and it's fun, because you can play the same map 5 times in a row and it'll be played differently every single time. Even if the site setup and everything is the same, like, it will be played differently. So I just disagree. You don't get the same feeling that you get from Siege from any other game, in my opinion. That's why we're still playing it with cheater issues and all that. Meckel, which is another content creator. 2-shot headshots, all weapons rebalanced for said 2-shot headshot. All ops can heal themselves for about 60% of their health. Turn the game into a tracking-based game. I completely disagree. This game, at its core, is an FPS. It's supposed to be realistic and tactical, kind of like CSGO. So the last thing I would want is this game to turn into something like Overwatch, or, you know, Apex Legends with like armor and like 2-shot headshot. Like, don't get me wrong, I hate when I get randomly wallbanged because somebody's unloading an entire mag through a wall or just randomly shooting. But 2-shot headshot, no. I just think what should happen is operators should have less ammo, so this doesn't happen. Because you see people running Zofia LMG once again and just shooting through random stuff and just pre-firing everything. It's really annoying. A lot of the ammo count is you're not actually, there's no benefit to having all this ammo besides pre-firing. Now it just rewards players that just don't play the game tactical and they play it off of pure stupidity and just running around, and that's fine. Like, you know, getting a random wallbang doesn't really happen that much, but you know, when people are just randomly shooting because they have like 300 rounds in an LMG, it's very annoying. Sprinting around getting kills in one-taps by baiting with like 0 calls or team play is less entertaining than to watch good coordinated and team play. That is very true. I kind of fell in love with Siege just based on, you know, that type of gameplay, and it's probably why I've never focused on mechanics, because I always enjoyed like giving a good call out to a teammate, or you know, a good play happening just based off me being able to like play off my teammate very well. And like, personally, I don't like watching champion gameplay. Like, you do see a lot of mechanically gifted players and like they're really good and they have good shots, But I feel like this type of gameplay is almost foreshadowed by, you know, the one taps and all the flashy gameplay. Like if I posted like an 8-minute video of like just like ranked plays where like the game is how it's supposed to, how the game is supposed to properly be played, the video would do bad compared if like, you know, if I was the best mechanical player and I went crazy. And it's just the sad part, but it's a casual community that likes it. Rework rank system to count walls opened, reinforce gadgets deployed, and diffuse plants. All scopes under an op's highest zoom should be available. Thermite 1.5, for example, buff worse off instead of nerfing strong ones. Well, here's the thing. When it comes down to Sledge getting nerfed, for example, I feel like it kind of makes sense. And I was really against it at first. I was pissed because Sledge is my favorite operator. And it's like he's had this loadout since year 1. So it's so odd to change it. It's like taking a shotgun away from smoke. It's just so goddamn weird, man. But like I get it why they did that. But the whole point of them nerfing the best operator like Sledge for vertical play is so that other operators are more attractive to get picked. You see what I'm saying? Like why would I pick a, you know, Iana or, you know, a Zero or like even a Buck over a Sledge when he has SMG-11, grenades, L8, which is the most consistent AR in the game, and you know he has ACOG and whatnot. So people gotta realize that. Like I understand why they're nerfing like these strong operators. It's so different operators are more attractive. The R6 community are a bunch of pussies and need to stop being so negative. True.